movie night! Yay! Hey, look, it's Team Skeptic's video. Let's hit that shit up.
Hey guys, and welcome to today's idiot video. Today, we will be covering flat earther Daniel Pratt and his recent video titled Flat Earth, Basic Kindergarten Science Destroys Globe. Now, I'm not quite sure that Daniel Pratt has even a kindergarten level education, so I think this experiment might confuse him a bit. And for those of you who are not familiar with Daniel Pratt's channel, you should definitely go check it out. He is like the drama queen of the flat earth community. He posts about 4 videos a day crying about how other flat earthers don't like him, and then follows that up with a video about why he doesn't like other flat earthers. So it was quite a surprise to see him try to apply science to stupidity. Because Daniel Pratt is a fucking idiot. So let's begin.
Wait, pause. I've forgotten something. What? I can't remember what it was. There was something I was supposed to do. Oh my god, I missed legalization. You guys watch this. I'll be right back. I have to get something.
Going back to kindergarten, there's a reason they start pounding the globe into our heads from cradle and have to continue to grave.
Because it's the fucking truth. They also pound 1 + 1, the alphabet, and general hygiene from before kindergarten. That's where the level of intelligence needs to be to understand why the earth is not flat. You shouldn't have to teach a grown man in a Snuggie these basic concepts, but Daniel Pratt is a flat earther, and flat earthers are fucking idiots.
So that's why I have to take you back there to get you back to your basic human instinct in order to see through their lies and contortions.
Okay, so let's just disregard the scientific advancements in lieu of kindergarten experiments. This makes perfect sense though, as flat earthers basically have the education level of toddlers. What I do find funny is how basic this thought experiment is and how bad this idiot gets it wrong. So let's continue.
I'm going to prove it to you once again with basic kindergarten level science.
Am I the only one here who thinks Daniel Pratt looks like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars? The only things that you are going to prove is that you are clueless about the world around you, you grossly misunderstand and misrepresent the globe earth model, and anyone can see that you are a fucking idiot.
If you really need to prove reality to yourself that bad, feel free.
Hey. I was coming back. Just go back. just go back on in. I'll be in there in a second. Come on. I'll be right back. I'll be there. I promise. I'm coming.
I don't need to prove reality to myself because I live in it. It's flat earthers that deny the reality that surrounds them. It's flat earthers who deny science without testing it. And ironically, it's flat earthers who tell us to do our own experiments. Flat earthers, especially Daniel Pratt, are fucking idiots.
I already know what happens when I walk towards a fan. Apparently, anybody that lives on a globe doesn't. Okay? So let's go back to kindergarten, children.
I love Daniel Pratt's condescending tone. Nothing is going to give me more pleasure than pointing out how stupid he is and calling him a fucking idiot. So stop with your emotional waffling before you start crying on camera and get on with the stupid.
Here we have a fan representing the moving atmosphere of Earth going along with the rotation and orbit and hurling Milky Way motion of the Earth, okay? 3 different motions.
Why stop at only 3 motions? Flat earthers typically only recognize the motions of the surface of the Earth moving around the point of rotation, the orbit of the Earth going around the Sun, and the Sun going around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. What about our motion in the local group or our motion through the Virgo supercluster? The reason we don't even consider these motions is due to the fact that the angular momentums associated with each motion are extremely small. Take, for example, the angular momentums associated with the 3 different motions we experience every day as we orbit around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. In my last video, I calculated the forces felt on a 1 kilogram bucket of water. I calculated the force due to gravity as 9.8 newtons with only a centrifugal force of 0.0313 newtons at the equator. The force of gravity is approximately 313 times stronger than the centrifugal force. Now let's calculate the angular momentums that we should feel to our orbit around the Sun and the center of the Milky Way galaxy. The centrifugal force equation reads F equals mv squared divided by r. For this example, we will use the distance the Earth is closest to the Sun as our value for r and 1 kilogram for m. To find velocity, or v, we must take our orbital distance in meters and divide it by our orbital time in seconds. The orbital time period of the Earth is approximately 365.24 days, which equates to 31,556,736 seconds. The scientific consensus on our orbital distance is approximately 940 million kilometers, so multiply that by 1,000 to get 940 billion meters. So our equation for our velocity reads 940 billion meters divided by 31,556,736 seconds to give us a velocity of approximately 29,787 meters per second. During perihelion, the Earth is closest to the Sun at approximately 147 million kilometers or 147 billion meters. This will be when angular momentum due to the orbit will be at its maximum. So plugging our numbers in, we get that the centrifugal force is equal to 1 kilogram times 29,787 squared meters per second divided by 147 billion meters, resulting in approximately 0.006 newtons or 1,628 times less than the force of gravity. Now let's quickly calculate the centrifugal force of the bucket of water around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. According to NASA, our orbital period around the center of the galaxy is approximately 230 million years, at a velocity of 828,000 kilometers per hour. Due to the magnitudes involved with these numbers, I will just put the calculations on the screen and allow you to see and check them for yourselves. R, or the distance from the Sun to the center of the Milky Way galaxy, is approximately 26,500 light years or 2.5 times 10 to the 20th meters. V equals 828,000 kilometers per hour or 230,000 meters per second. Applying our centrifugal force equation, we get F equals 230,000 squared meters per second divided by 2.5 times 10 to the 20th meters, or 2.12 times 10 to the negative 10 newtons, or approximately 64.3 billion times weaker than the force of gravity. Take this time to pause the video and check the math if you would like. While practicing your math skills, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, as anyone can see, there are different forces that are acting upon us as we hurtle through space. However, the force of gravity dominates them all to the point that we could never even notice, even if we tried. Flat earthers are wasting their time and my oxygen when they bring up the 3 different motions argument and haven't even done the math to back their assertions. But flat earthers are fucking idiots.
So, this fan, we're going to say our atmosphere is moving at 5 miles an hour. If we take this here handy dandy flag and move it at 5 miles an hour along with this fan, this flag will not blow in this direction because it is moving along with the atmosphere at the same rate.
So far, so good. If a fan could create wind traveling in one direction consistently and a flag moved within that wind in the same direction at the same velocity, then the flag wouldn't be affected.
So the wind from the fan will not affect the flag. It'll just hang down, okay? I didn't draw that perfectly example, but it'll just droop straight down because of gravity, right?
Are you sure you're even a flat earther? Yes, the flag hangs down due to the downward pull of the accelerating force of gravity. Daniel Pratt, do you not own a computer? How can I take this flat earth evidence serious when it's drawn on a wrinkled ass piece of paper? Put this shit in Photoshop, get your ideas together so they form a coherent thought, and present it to the kindergarten class you never graduated from.
So if we move it along at 5 miles per hour, along with the fan, there will be no effect on the flag. It'll just be like you're holding it still. So far, their globe atmosphere moving works just fine.
What do you mean so far? It works just fine in every situation. Well, every situation that accurately represents reality. The only way to show that this doesn't work is when an idiot like Daniel Pratt misunderstands and then misrepresents the globe Earth model. Daniel Pratt, what is it about these kindergarten concepts that your tiny intelligence fails to understand?
Where the problem comes in is, as soon as we turn around to go the opposite way on the globe, if we're going 5 miles an hour this way and there's no effects, suddenly when we move back into the moving atmosphere of that fan, this flag will immediately start blowing the other way.
Well, no
Every
shit, Sherlock.
single
if I'm driving in the
time.
same direction as the 5 mile per hour
It
wind
is
and at the same
measurable,
velocity, then the wind will have no effect.
verifiable,
But if I
and
turn around and drive
repeatable.
5 miles per hour directly
Oh,
into
Daniel,
the wind,
you've
then the
discovered
flag
what
will
my
feel a
2-year-old
breeze
daughter
of 10
discovered the
miles
other
per
day.
hour
She
in the
sorted
same
out that when
direction
she
as the
runs
wind
with a
is
light
blowing.
object,
This is
the
like
wind moves
very,
it as she
very,
runs.
very,
I
very
wonder if
basic
Daniel had the
science.
same reaction as my
And
little
Daniel
girl.
Pratt
Did he
is
jump up and
so
down,
happy
clap
that
his
he
hands a few
kinda
times?
understands. I'm sure he walks out every morning and proudly tells his family that he has successfully dressed himself. Daniel Pratt, how often do you think the stupidity of flat earth idiots gets in the way of them being successful in life?
Every single time.
100% agreed. Flat earthers are fucking idiots.
So, unless you globe proponents can show me the car, the train, or the plane that Earth is traveling in through the galaxy, shut up with your planes, trains, and automobiles.
What the fuck are you even talking about? Anyone who honestly thinks the heliocentric model requires the Earth to be in a plane, train, or automobile is a delusional idiot.
When we do science, we can test the conditions of our outside world in the conditions of the outside world.
So maybe I'm just not dumb enough to understand what he means by science allows us to test the conditions of our outside world in the conditions of our outside world. Do you mean like you can test the temperature of the air outside while in the air outside? It's as nonsensical as it is idiotic. And if you think you know what he means, then leave it in a comment below. Tag the comment with hashtag Daniel Pratt is an idiot, and the most creative answer will be responsible for this ding.
So until you can walk into the breeze of a fan without it affecting the flag or the streamers or the air pressure gauge you have.
What the fuck? What's happening? I was watching that. What's going on?
Teen Skeptic, I'd like a public apology for you using my material unlawfully under copyright law. So go ahead and issue a public apology.
Fuck that.
to me.
This is
Thank you.
bullshit. Does this guy even know what fair use is? That's it. Team unite.
Fire! Wind! Water! Heart! Go Planet!
I am Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, he's our hero.
Past the firewalls, local defense nets, Minutemen, and subs.
Skynet fully operational, processing at 60 teraflops a second.
Inquiries to your supervisor.
Let's pray to God this works.
Skynet defense system now activated.
Wait, why the fuck would we be using an instrument designed to test air
we're
pressure
back
and tires
online.
to detect atmospheric movement? Want to try again, idiot?
Or the wind gauge, whatever, wind speed gauge.
I knew that if you concentrated hard enough, you would eventually get it. It's actually called an anemometer, and it's designed to detect the force and direction of wind.
Then your moving atmosphere is bullshit.
And you are a fucking idiot. I already covered what would happen on the globe Earth model and how observational reality is completely consistent with a spherical rotating Earth with an atmosphere that is rotating at essentially the same angular rate as the surface.
If I was on the equator, as long as I'm moving with your moving atmosphere at 1,000 miles an hour, I'm fine. I won't feel a thing.
1,000 miles per hour relative to what? If you're talking about relative to the surface of the Earth, then you're completely wrong, because then you would be moving 995 miles per hour faster than the wind from the fan relative to the stationary ground. If you were talking about relative to the center of the Earth, then you would be moving with the atmosphere at 1,000 miles per hour, but still be stationary relative to the ground, and the wind will only hit you at 5 miles per hour.
The second I turn around and start to walk west, I would immediately be hit with 1,000-mile-an-hour wind.
You are a fucking idiot. As with all flat earthers, you must misrepresent the model you are trying to debunk. So you basically just debunked a fantasy world where moving west adds 1,000 miles per hour to your velocity. Let me explain. As I mentioned before and showed with this graphic, the velocity you are traveling is always relative to a stationary point. If the stationary point is the center of the Earth, then the 5 mile per hour fan breeze will include an initial velocity of 1,000 miles per hour, for a total velocity of 1,005 miles per hour east. When walking west at 5 miles per hour, you are actually traveling east at 995 miles per hour. This is due to the initial velocity of the surface of the Earth being 1,000 miles per hour. So a fan blowing a breeze 5 miles per hour east will hit a person walking 5 miles per hour west at 10 miles per hour. I don't know if Daniel Pratt is intellectually dishonest or intellectually impaired. Either way, Daniel Pratt is a fucking idiot.
If you cannot realize that fact of reality, you're fucking insane.
And if you can't realize that you misrepresented the globe Earth model and you debunked nothing more than Fantasyland, then you're a fucking idiot.
And the fact that you expect me to means you must be fucking insane.
Oh, Daniel, don't get it twisted. People like me gave up on people like you a long time ago. No one expects you to all of a sudden start believing in reality because you're a dumbass idiot. Honestly though, you're just like everyone else in the flat earth community who base their delusional worldview on an inability to conceptualize the globe earth model properly. In more simpler terms, you and all other flat earthers are fucking idiots. Now I'd like to take the time out to thank Daniel Pratt for continuously putting out his personal soap opera titled As the Flat Earth Turns, because Daniel Pratt is a fucking idiot.
That was awesome. I can't believe how insane that guy is. What should I do now? Oh, I know. I'm gonna put some beats on. Where's that bong at? I want to thank Team Skeptic for the honor of hosting this mirror, as well as all the people that helped share my videos and push me to almost 200 subs. I'm very excited and having a lot of fun. So please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and hit that like button. We can see each other next time.